श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। हरिः ओम्। ओम गणानां त्वा गणपतिगुं हवामहे कविं कवीनामुपमश्रवस्तमं ज्येष्ठराजं ब्रह्मणां ब्रह्मणस्पदान शृण्वन्नोदिभिः सीदसादनम्। ओम श्री महागणपतये नमः। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानामालयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादशङ्करं लोकशङ्करं। सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे श्रीगुरुपरम्पराम्। ॐ श्रीशङ्कराचार्य स्वामिने नमः। ॐ सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। हरिः ओम् श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। हरिः ओम्। Am I audible?
Yes, Mahodaya.
Okay, you can call people now.
Banu Rekha Bhagini, please.
Namaste Mahodaya.
Namaste.
Shri Bhagavanuvacha Aksharam Brahma Paramam Svabhavodhyatma Muchyate Bhuta Bhavotbhavakaraha Visargah Karma Sanjitaha.
Good.
Dr. Sri Lakshmi Bhagini.
Namaste Mahodaya.
Namaste.
Adhibhutam karo bhavah purushaschaadhiदैवतम् adhiyajño hamevatra dehe dehabhritam vara.
It is not karo bhava, kshara. Kshara means,
Yeah.
I heard it as karo.
No, sir. Akshara only. Shall I repeat, sir?
Yeah, please.
Adhibhutam ksharo bhavah purushaschaadhiदैवतम् adhiyajño hamevatra dehe dehabhritam vara.
Good.
K. Lalita Bhagini. Yes, sir. Antakale cha mameva smaran muktva kalevaram yah prayati samadbhavam yati nastyatra samshayah.
Good.
Lakshmi B.V. Bhagini.
Yes. Yayyau vapismaran bhavam tyajatyante kalevaram tantamevaiti kaunteya sada tadbhava bhavitaha.
Good.
Sharat Chavan Mahodaya.
नमो नमः गुरुजी।
नमो नमः।
तस्मात् सर्वेषु कालेषु मामनुस्मर युध युध्यच मध्यर्पितो मनो बुद्धि मामे वैश्यस्य माधवम्।
Mayi means in me. Arpita mano buddhihi mame aishya asamshayah. Mame vaishyasya samshayam.
मामे वैश्यस्य संशयम्।
And Mayarpita mano buddhihi mame vaisyasya samshayam.
Okay, I'll say it again, sir.
Yes.
तस्मात् सर्वेषु कालेषु मामनुस्मर युध्यच मय्यर्पितं मनो बुद्धिः मामे वैश्यस्य संशयम्।
Next.
Sharada Rajan Bhagini.
Same Shloka again, please.
Yes. Tasmat sarveshu kaleshu मामनुस्मर युध्य च मय्यर्पितमनो बुद्धिः मामे वैश्यस्य संशयम्.
Good. Next.
राजेश्वरी शिवशंकर भगिनी.
नमस्ते सर.
Namaste.
अभ्यास योग युक्तेन चेतसा गामिना परमं पुरुषं दिव्यं यति पार्थानुचिन्तयन्.
Yati paramam purusham divyam yati pattanuchintayan.
I'll read it once again.
Yes.
अभ्यास योग युक्तेन चेतसा नान्यकामिना परमं पुरुषं दिव्यं याति पार्थानुचिन्तयन्.
Good. So we'll go to the new shloka today. And so far, whatever shloka we have seen in this chapter, all of them are anushtup meter. It is every padam was having 8 aksharas. The one that we are now changing over is to trishtup meter, where each pada will have 11 aksharas. So the meter changes, recitation also slightly changes. For example, in this shloka, if I chant, it will be Abhyasa Yoga Yuktena Chetasa Nanya Gamina Paramam Purusham Divyam Yati Partanu Chintayan Kavim Purana Manushasitaram Anoraniyam Samanusmaredyah Sarvasya Dhataramachintya Rupam Adityavarnam Tamasah Parastad. You would have seen the kind of change in the meter itself. So keep this meter in the background of in your mind. It will become easy for you to chant. Who is coming now?
What is this meter called?
Trishtum.
Tushtam. Other one is Anushtam Chanda.
We discuss all these things between 2:15 and 3:15 and 3:30.
Okay.
शीला शिंदे भगिनी.
Yes sir.
Kavim Purana Manushasitaram
कविं पुराणमनुशासितारम्
Anoraniyam Samanusmaredyah
अनोरणीयास्मनुस्मरेद्यः अनोरणीयास्मनुस्मरेद्यः
Yamsa Anoraniyamsa Yamsa or Yamsa Anoraniyamsa Manusmaredyah
अनोरणीयास्मनुस्मरेद्यः अनोरणीयास्मनुस्मरेद्यः
Kavim Purana Manushasitaram Anoraniyam Samanusmaredyah
कविं पुराणमनुशासितारम् अनोरणीयास्मनुस्मरेद्यः कविं पुराणमनुशासितारम् अनोरणीयास्मनुस्मरेद्यः.
It is Manusha Sitaram. Not Manusha Shitaram, Manusha Sitaram.
मनुशासितारम् मनुशासितारम्.
Can you again chant? Yeah, go ahead. Kavim Puranam. Once again, can you chant it? Okay, who is coming next?
अनुपमा भट्ट भगिनी.
Sarvasya Dhataramachintya Rupam
सर्वस्य धातारमचिन्त्य रूपम् सर्वस्य धातारमचिन्त्य रूपम्
Adityavarnam Tamasah Parastad
आदित्यवर्णं तमसः परस्तात् आदित्यवर्णं तमसः परस्तात्
सर्वस्य धातारमचिन्त्य रूपम् आदित्यवर्णं तमसः परस्तात्
सर्वस्य धातारमचिन्त्य रूपम् आदित्यवर्णं तमसः परस्तात् सर्वस्य धातारमचिन्त्य रूपम् आदित्यवर्णं तमसः परस्तात्.
Good. Next.
उषा श्रीनिवासन भगिनी.
कविं पुराणमनुशासितारम् अनोरणीयां समनुस्मरेद्यः.
नमस्ते महोदय. कविं पुराणमनुशासितारम् अणोरणीयां समनुस्मरेद्यः. कविं पुराणमनुशासितारम् अणोरणीयां समनुस्मरेद्यः.
Next.
विजयलक्ष्मी भगिनी.
सर्वस्य धातारमचिन्त्य रूपम् आदित्यवर्णं तमसः परस्तात्
सर्वस्य दातारमचिन्त्य रूपम् आदित्यवर्णं तमसः परस्तात् सर्वस्य दातारमचिन्त्य रूपम् आदित्यवर्णं तमसः परस्तात्
तमसः परस्तात्.
तमसः परस्तात्.
Good. Next.
श्रीमती भगिनी.
The first two lines together, once, two times.
नमस्ते महोदय.
Namaste.
कविं पुराणमनुशासितारम् अनोरणीयां समनुस्मरेद्यः. कविं मनुष्या महोदय, मनुष्यसी और मनुषा
मनुशासितारम् अनोरणीयां समनुस्मरेद्यः.
कविं पुराणमनुशासितारम् अणोरणीयां समनुस्मरेद्यः. कविं पुराणमनुशासितारम् अणोरणीयां समनुस्मरेद्यः.
Next.
वीणा पाणिश्री भगिनी.
The third and fourth line together, two times.
नमस्ते महोदय.
Namaste.
सर्वस्य दातारमचिन्त्य रूपम् आदित्यवर्णं तमसः परस्तात् सर्वस्य धातारमचिन्त्य रूपम् आदित्यवर्णं तमसः परस्तात्.
Good. Next.
लीना मेहरुल भगिनी.
Yeah, the entire shloka once.
कविं पुराणमनुशासितारम् अणोरणीयां समनुस्मरेद्यः. सर्वस्य धातारमचिन्त्य रूपम् आदित्यवर्णं तमसः परस्तात्.
Very good. Next.
गुरुमूर्ति महोदय.
Full shloka once.
कविं पुराणमनुशासितारम् अणोरणीयां समनुस्मरेद्यः. कविं पुराणमनुशासितारम् अणोरणीयां समनुस्मरेद्यः. सर्वस्य दारमचिन्त्य रूपम्
सर्वस्य धातारमचिन्त्य रूपम्
सर्वस्य दातारमचिन्त्य रूपम् आदित्यवर्णं तमसः परस्तात्.
Good.
राजलक्ष्मी भगिनी.
नमस्ते महोदय.
Namaste.
कविं पुराणमनुशासितारम् अणोरणीयां समनुस्मरेद्यः. सर्वस्य दातारमचिन्त्य रूपम् आदित्यवर्णं तमसः परस्तात्.
And it is not Kavin Purana, Kavin Purana. I heard it as Kavin Purana Manusha. It is Kavin Puranam.
कविं पुराणमनुशासितारम् अणोरणीयां समनुस्मरेद्यः.
Correct.
सर्वस्य दातारमचिन्त्य रूपम् आदित्यवर्णं तमसः परस्तात्.
Good. Next.
भानुरेखा भगिनी.
कविं पुराणमनुशासितारम् अणोरणीयां समनुस्मरेद्यः. सर्वस्य दातारमचिन्त्य रूपम् आदित्यवर्णं तमसः परस्तात्.
Good. Next.
Dr. Sri Lakshmi Bhagini.
Yes, sir. Kavim Puranam Anushasitaram Anuraniyam Samanusmaredyah Sarvasya Dataram Achintya Rupam Adityavarnam Tamasah Parastat.
One more person.
Lalita K. Bhagini.
Yes, sir. Kavim Puranamanushasitaram Anoraneyam Samanusmaredyah Sarvasya Dhataramachintya Rupam Aditya Varnan Tamasah Parastat.
Good. So before going to the reading of this shloka, I'll just quickly revise whatever Bhagavan was talking about. What is going to at the time of falling of the body. Okay. So we first started off telling that Antakale cha mameva smaran muktva kalevaram yav prayati sa madbhavam yati na asti yatra atra samshayah. At the time of death, so Antakale mameva smaran muktva, the person who is meditating on me, smaran muktva kalevaram, the one who is meditating on me and then leaving his body, kalevaram is body. Yav prayati, the person, prayati is again is prayanam prayati. The person on that particular travel. What is the travel? The travel after death. Okay. Yav prayati on death, sa madbhavam yati. He will be achieving my own nature. Saha madbhavam yati. He will attain my own nature. Na asti atta samshayah. There is no doubt in this at all. That's what he said. So Bhagavan says in this particular shloka that at the time of falling of the body, the person should be able to meditate on Bhagavan. If somebody is able to meditate on Bhagavan, then they will be able to reach Bhagavan only, Ishvara only, Brahman only. So that is, there's no doubt in that. That's what he said in 8.5. Then in the case of 8.6, Yayyav vapi smaranbhavam chayatyante kalevaram tamtameveti kaunteya sada sadbhava bhavitah. So whenever, whatever anybody is thinking about the time of death, yam vapi smaranbhavam kalevaram tajat, whenever they are at the time of leaving this particular body, they will be achieving only that, sada. The satad bhavam bhavitah. They will be only getting into the same kind of thing, whatever they have been constantly thinking about. Sada means constantly. Constantly, if somebody was thinking about something in their life, only that comes at the top of the mind, recall the time of death also, and then they'll be able to only reach that. Okay. So one of the things that we need to understand is, yesterday I told you about the bow and arrow. So the bow and arrow you are holding in your hand, and then you keep on looking at different targets. So finally, at the time of, whenever you leave the arrow, whatever is going to be the target, that is the target the arrow is going to go. Similarly, you may have multiple thoughts coming up in your mind. Okay, that is, multiple thoughts are there in the mind. Then, at the time of death, there's one thought, that is the target. So when the body is leaving, it goes only towards that. So whatever is going to be the thought that people are having at the time of their death, that I want to become a big businessman, that is the kind of thought he is having. Maybe in the next Janma, he will be having those kinds of desires which will drive him to become a businessman. He will say, no, I want to be a scientist. And then that is the kind of thinking that was going on. He had a regret in his life. Maybe he thought that he has to become a scientist and he thinks that I should become a scientist. And when he is leaving the body with that, the same thing, he will be again getting a body, and then there will be a tremendous amount of desire for him to become a scientist. So whatever is the final thought when the body, when the Sukshma Sarira is leaving this body, same thing they will be achieving. So Sada Tadbhava, because they have been thinking about that throughout in their life. Okay. So one of the most important things that you have to understand is that what is the kind of thought somebody is having majority of his time in this world is the thought that is going to determine the thought the individual will have the time of his death. Somebody was thinking about Ishvara or Brahma, that will be a thought for him at the time of death. Somebody was thinking about something else, that will be a thought that is going to be at the time of his death. And then the Sukshma Sarira will start chasing that with a new body in the next birth. That is the way the Sastras are telling. Then, so supposing if somebody wants to reach Bhagavan, then what is he should do? He has got into that he is always thinking about Bhagavan. He says, Tasmat, Sarveshu Kaleshu Vamanusmara. He says that so if we, because we do not know when the last breath is for us, we do not know when we are going to die. It may be tomorrow, it may be today, it may be 1 week down the line, it may be 1 month, it may be 10 years, we don't know. But life is uncertain. Anytime the body will fall. So if another 3 minutes somebody is going to die, then he should be thinking about Bhagavan now, at this point in time. So every point in time, they have to think of Bhagavan. So he says, Tasma, Sarveshu Kaleshu Vamanuspara Yuddhicha. He says that always you think about me. Then the question arises, when you're thinking about God only always, then what do we do? What do we do? We'll be only thinking about God, nothing will happen. He says, no. You start, Bhagavan, he is telling Arjuna, you fight also. You fight also. When you're fighting, you understand that the fighting is ordained by the Lord, by himself, that you have to fight. So when you are fighting, you are going to arpani, what is that? The sankalpa you are going to make and leave it on me. My arpita, you are going to give everything onto me, and then you are doing it for my sake. So you are doing my job. So you are going to only think of me and then do that job. So like the karma yogi is always going to think of Ishvara Adesha. So that is the way he thinks and does the job. So in the case of a karma yogi, Paladata is only Ishvara. He does not go after the Pala. Similarly, here also he says that you please be in your respective responsibility, but think that it is for the sake of Bhagavan you are doing it, and you get engaged into that. When you have that kind of an attitude, you will always be thinking about me. So he says that similar to Karma Yoga, where you always look at it from you are doing it for the sake of Ishvara, and the Karma Pala, Ishvara Data is the Karma Pala. Similarly, he says you be engaged with the world of activities, but keep in mind that it is all the thing that you are doing for me. Everything is a yajna that you are doing for me. Anything becomes a yajna when you are not doing it for the sake of yourself, but for the sake of your responsibility, what you are supposed to do for society or for wherever you are living and what responsibility you are holding. So, my arpita mano buddhi, if you are having that kind of attitude, you will reach me. That's what he said. Then he says that it is not going to happen very easily. Abhyasa yogo yuktena. You have to have abhyasa, you have to have practice. You cannot have the Ramanama or Krishna Nama or Bhagavan Nama coming to the mind at the time of death, unless otherwise you are having abhyasa day in and day out. Like Virat Kohli cannot go and then hit a century just getting on T20 match. He has got to do so much of hard work day in and day out. Every day morning goes for running, then goes for building up his body, goes for trying out his technique, etc. Then only he can go and play in that. So you cannot think that when I'm going to be in the hospital the last day, I'll start thinking of Rama Sita. Nothing will come. It has got to be throughout the life. Virat Kohli has to prepare himself every day, 10 hours, 12 hours he has to prepare. Only then he'll be able to play after so many years in one game, which is only duration of around 4 hours in a T20 match in New York. That also he will fail. So, Abhyasa is important. Without Abhyasa, thinking that I will be able to get it done, I think of Rama, that will not happen. So, Bhagavan says very clearly, Abhyasa is important. So, that is what we Partha Anuchintayan, you have to keep thinking about it, Arjuna. Then you will be able to Paramam Purusham Divyam Yati. You will be able to achieve the divine cosmic person. You will be able to reach. Yati. So now he is coming out with Kavim Purana Manushasitaram Anoradiyamsa Manusmaredyaha. Yaha means the one. Anusmaredyaha, that means Anusmared. Yaha Anusmared, the one who contemplates on, the one who meditates on. One who meditates on whom? Kavim. He talks about Kavim. Kavim means, one of the normal translations is a poet. But in Sanskrit language, it can also be taken as a visionary or the omniscient. The right word for Kavim in the case of Sanskrit is omniscient. It is called Kranta Drishta, something they say. Kranta Drishta is a person who is having a vision of lot of things. So Bhagavan being omniscient, he is telling Anusmaredyaha Kavim. You have to meditate upon that particular omniscient person. Puranam. Puranam means what? Old. Old means ancient. Ancient means before the creation, who was existing? Bhagavan was existing. So Anusmaredyaha Puranam. Anushasitaram. Anushasitaram means the entire creation is because of him. The entire world of water is because of him. So that particular person you have to start meditating upon. And then Anoraniyamsa. Anoho Aniyamsa. Anoho means subtle. And Aniyamsa means subtle of the subtle. Subtlest of the subtle is what? Bhagavan. See, Bhagavan is supposed to be, we have Sukshma Sarira, which we will not be able to know. So the subtlest of subtle is going to be Bhagavan. Brahma is the Brahman that we talk about, the Ishvara that we talk about is subtle of the subtlest. Even Akasha is subtle for us. Bhagavan is still subtler. So Anoraniya means subtlest of the subtle, even subtlest of subtle. Anu in this particular case, if you look at that way, scientific world also calls Anu. Anu is atom. Atom is subtle particles. And then under the atom, they got electrons, protons, quarks, all those kinds of things. So the atom word has perhaps come only from Sanskrit, Anuhu. So he says subtler of the subtlest is the Brahman, that is the Ishvara. So you have to start Anusmaret, that is, you have to start meditating upon him. Sarvasya Dhataram, he is the one who sustains everything and who is the one who is the creator of everything. Achintya Rupam. If you look at the nature of Brahman, it is not possible for us to understand. We cannot think of the Rupam. Achintya Rupam is, we will not be able to comprehend with our normal senses. So it is, certain things can be sensed by the five senses and then we'll be able to know about it. But in this particular case, Achintya means it is beyond your comprehension with your senses. Achintya. So Bhagavan is incomprehensible. So if you look at that way, we are talking about Nirguna Brahman. Nirguna Brahman is the Brahman which does not have any attributes. Attributeless Brahman is the one that you need to meditate upon. Aditya Varnam. And he says here, Aditya means sun, sun's color. If you look at that way, it is not sun's color like it is. Morning it is yellow, afternoon it is bright orange or red, and evening it becomes reddish in color. It is not that. So Aditya Varnam should be understood as shining. And shining also, what we have to understand is that it is the understanding of shining is that in the presence of sunlight, everything becomes visible to us. I think we have done that. Eka Shloki we have done once, around 2-3 months back, we have done that. In the presence of light, everything is known to us, right? Similarly, in the presence of the consciousness that we have inside us, we are able to know our mind. Our mind is revealed to us in the presence of consciousness. If the consciousness is not there, it is not revealed to us. That knowing what is happening in the mind, knowing the mind is because of consciousness. And that consciousness is the one called shining. Because you are knowing the mind through the consciousness, consciousness is supposed to be shining. It is not like a kind of light, etc. They say that, enlightened people means it is not that there is going to be light coming up into the Atma, somebody will have a flashlight and see it. No. It is you come to know it. That is the kind of flash. Sometimes we also say that when we do not know something, it suddenly flashed in my mind, we say. It's not that the light is coming, but you come to apprehend it, or you come to recognize it, or you come to know it. So this is primarily Aditya Varnam means the consciousness shines. The consciousness. So he is telling that the consciousness that we have on the universal consciousness is same. And in the presence of consciousness, ignorance cannot be there. Or in the presence of light, darkness cannot be there. In the presence of consciousness and knowledge, ignorance cannot be there. So tamasa parastat. So what he is telling is that you need to have a very clear meditation on Kavim Purana Manusasidaram Anuradiram Sanusparedyah Sarvasya Dadara Machitya Rupam Adityavan Tamasam Prastat. You need to meditate upon the Supreme. That is what he is telling. The Supreme is defining by different things like Kavim, omniscient, Puranam, very, very old, Anuraniyamsa, it is suppler of the supplers. Sarvasya Dhataram is the sustainer and creator of everything. Achintya Rupam, beyond our own comprehension, and shining. That is what you need to start meditating upon. That's what Bhagavan says. In fact, whatever Krishna says here in terms of what we need to do at the time of death is not an easy thing that we can do, but that is what Bhagavan has told. This is what one has to prepare himself. Like if you saw Virat Kohli wants to take up the life of a cricketer, professional cricketer, he has got to do the practice. Similarly, if we want to have, what is that? Enlightenment, etc., we need to also do all these practices. Otherwise, it is not going to be easy. So, this is all the things Bhagavan has told, which we need to understand, and we have to see how we will be able to follow. Next.
Lakshmi B.V. Bhagini.
Yes, Bhagini.
Prayana kale manasa chalena.
Prayana kale manasa chalena. Prayana kale manasa chalena.
Bhaktya yukto yoga balena chaiva.
Bhaktya yukto yoga balena chaiva. Bhaktya yukto yoga balena chaiva.
Prayana kale manasa chalena. Bhaktya yukto yoga balena chaiva.
Prayana kale manasa chalena. Bhaktya yukto yoga balena chaiva. Prayana kale manasa chalena. Bhaktya yukto yoga balena chaiva.
Good. Next.
Sharat Chavan Mahodaya.
Yes, sir.
Bhruvor madhye pranamavesha samyak.
Bhurvamadhye pranamavesh samyak. Bhurvamadhye pranamavesh samyak.
The Bhruvo, not Bhurva. Bhruvor madhye pranamavesha samyak.
Bhurvamadhye pranamavesh samyak. Bhurvamadhye pranamavesh samyak.
Satam param purusha upaiti divyam.
Satam param purushamupaiti divyam. Satam param purushamupaiti divyam.
Bhruvor madhye
Bhuvo madhye pranamavesh samyak. Satam param purusha mupaiti divyam.
Good. Once again.
Bhuvor madhye pranamavesh samyak. Satam param purusha mupaiti divyam.
Good. Next.
Sharada Rajan Bhagini.
Yes.
Prayana kale manasa chalena. Bhaktya yukto yoga bhalena chaiva.
Prayana kale manasa chalena. Bhaktya yukto yoga balena chaiva. Prayana kale manasa chalena. Bhaktya yukto yoga balena chaiva.
Good. Next.
Rajeshwari Shivshankar.
Yes, sir.
Bhruvor madhye pranamavesha samyak. Satam param purusha bhupaiti divyam.
Bhruvor madhye pranamavesha samyak. Satam param purusham upaiti divyam. Bhruvor madhye मा वेत्य सम्यक् सतं परं पुरुषमुपैति दिव्यम्.
Good. Next.
Sheila Shinde Bhagini.
Yes, sir.
Line 2 times.
From starting, sir.
The first line, yeah. First 2 lines.
Okay. प्रयाणकाले मनसा चलेन भक्त्या युक्तो योगबलेन चैव. प्रयाणकाले मनसा चलेन भक्त्या युक्तो योगबलेन चैव.
Good. Next.
Anupama Bhatt Bhagini.
The last 2 lines.
भ्रुवोर्मध्ये प्राणमावेश सम्यक् सतं परं पुरुषमुपैति दिव्यम्.
Good. Next.
मध्ये प्राणमावेश सम्यक् सतं परं पुरुषमुपैति दिव्यम्.
Good, good.
Usha Srinivasan Bhagini.
Full shloka once.
प्रयाणकाले मनसा चलेन भक्त्या युक्तो योगबलेन चैव भ्रुवोर्मध्ये प्राणमावेश्य
Bruvor madhye.
ओके सर. भ्रुवोर्मध्ये प्राणमावेश्य सम्यक् सतं परं पुरुषमुपैति दिव्यम्.
Good.
भ्रुवोर्मध्ये प्राणमावेश्य सम्यक् सतं परं पुरुषमुपैति दिव्यम्.
Good. Next.
Mrinalini Gopalan Bhagini.
Yes, sir. The full sloka, sir.
The full shloka, right.
Okay. प्रयाणकाले मनसा चलेन भक्त्या युक्तो योगबलेन चैव भ्रुवोर्मध्ये प्राणमावेश्य सम्यक् सतं परं पुरुषमुपैति दिव्यम्.
Good. Next.
Vijayalakshmi Bhagini.
प्रयाणकाले मनसा चलेन भक्त्या युक्तो योगबलेन चैव भ्रुवोर्मध्ये प्राणमावेश सम्यक् सतं परं पुरुषमुपैति दिव्यम्.
Good. Next.
Srimati Bhagini.
Yes, Mahodaya.
Yeah.
प्रयाणकाले मनसा चलेन भक्त्या युक्तो योगबलेन चैव. प्रयाणकाले मनसा चलेन भक्त्या युक्तो योगबलेन चैव.
The full shloka.
Full slow, sorry, Mahodaya. भ्रुवोर्मध्ये प्राणमावेश्य सम्यक् सतं परं पुरुषमुपैति दिव्यम्.
Next.
प्रयाणकाले sorry.
It's okay. Once is sufficient. Yeah.
Veena Panisri
Okay.
Bhagini.
Full shloka once.
प्रयाणकाले मनसा चलेन भक्त्या युक्तो योगबलेन चैव भ्रुवोर्मध्ये प्राणमावेश्य सम्यक् ततं परं पुरुषमुपैति दिव्यम्.
Good. Next.
Leena Mehrul Bhagini.
प्रयाणकाले मनसा चलेन भक्त्या युक्तो योगबलेन चैव भ्रुवोर्मध्ये प्राणमावेश्य सम्यक् सतं परं पुरुषमुपैति दिव्यम्.
Good. One more person.
Gurumurthy Mahodaya.
Yes, sir. प्रयाणकाले मनसा चलेन भक्त्या युक्तो योगबलेन चैव भ्रुवोर्मध्ये प्राणमावेश्य सम्यक् ततं परं पुरुषमुपैति दिव्यम्.
Good. So, Bhagavan, what he says here is also another very difficult task. One cannot do it without any practice. Is all yogis, those yogis and the people who realized people, they were able to do all these things. So anyhow, we need to know about it because these are all the kinds of techniques that is required to be followed in terms of getting into moksha and managing at the time of death. In this sloka, he says, prayana kale, so at the time of death. Manasa chalena, manasa achalena, it says the mind should be absolutely firm. So if you look at that way, what we understand from different people is that at the time of death, they are highly agitated. They are agitated with multiple things. They have a lot of regrets that come into their mind at the time of death, that they have not completed many things in the world. They also have regrets that they have not done certain things the way they should have done that. They have got regrets in terms of being unfair. They have got regrets in terms of not, completely getting things organized in the family. They are not able to bear the pain. They have overcome with fear. All these things are there, and then you are asking that person to go Manasa Achalena Prayana Kale at the time of death. Bhagavan is telling you, please sit, and then without any wavering mind, what is Bhaktya Yukto Yoga Balena? You start with devotion and you Yoga Balena with the kinds of strength that you got over doing yoga for the last so many years, that kind of practice with that particular strength. Bruvor Madhye Pranamaveshya. There are some people who are, we are doing pranayama now. We are doing very, very basic level pranayama. In Yoga Sutra and Patanjali Yoga and all, there's a pranayama wherein the prana can be brought into Agnya Chakra, they say here. Agnya Chakra, they say here. And they are able to get the prana come up to here. So, Bruvor Madhye, and in between the thing and Agnya Chakra, Pranamaveshya, properly place the prana here. Then, Sa Upaiti, if you are able to do that and then Prayana Kale, then leave the body, Sa Upaiti, he will be able to reach Tamparam Purusham Divyam. He will be able to reach the supreme divine being. Purusham Divyam Tamparam, supreme divine being. So, what is Bhagavan asking now is a very big thing, that it is not possible unless otherwise there is going to be a dedicated practice over the years. And for this, one of the most important things that somebody has to understand is that we need to know that we are not the body, we are not the mind, we are not the buddhi. All those things we have to be able to do that. I think some of you are coming for meditation in the morning at 6:45 to 7:15. You will realize that, many days he talks about that, about body consciousness, about the mind consciousness, and then he is trying to ask you what is the impersonal thing that we have beyond body and mind. That is the way we have to start looking at it. Today, I think we are also discussing that in Om Pranayama. So, Bhagavan has told we have to first of all have a clear understanding that the body is falling and not I am falling. So, that understanding itself has to come. And then there has got to be a lot more of yogic exercises that people have to do over years, along with the knowledge that we gain from Vedanta and other things. And then only somebody can prepare and then understand this. And then only they'll be able to do this. So what Bhagavan has told here is that those people who are able to, with their yogic abhyasa over the years, if they should be able to, at the time of death, bring their prana between the Bruvor Madhye, between the Ajna Chakra, and then they leave the body, and then those people, they will be able to Sa Tam Param Purusham Upai, they will be able to reach the divine Purusha, supreme divine Purusha, Param Divyam Purusham Upaiti. He'll be able to reach. That's what Bhagavan says. It's a very big asking. And the only thing is that now we need to know about this. And then some of the seekers that we are here discussing on this topic, we may have to perhaps have a different kind of plan in case we want to, in terms of how do we prepare ourselves in terms of yogic understanding of managing the prana. So pranayama itself, if you look at that way, you'll understand that in the last 29 days we have been doing meditation. We take pranayama lightly, but in pranayama itself, we have Anuloma, Anulom, Vilom, then you've got Suri Nadi, Chandra Nadi, you've got, what is that? Chodana Shuddhya, something we have, where you breathe from the left, exhale from the right, and again breathe in from right and exhale from the left. And then the abdominal breathing is there. And the breathing in the chest is there, breathing in the shoulders is there. There are multiple breathing techniques that is available. That's all pranayama. So that is a very simple things only we are doing. So what I am telling is that there are a lot of things in pranayama itself which is to be required in terms of managing the mind and body. So if somebody is really keen about that, Bhagavan says that they have to be yoga abhyasa and yoga balena, only they'll be able to reach this level, that they'll be able to come to that. But from this shloka perspective, we need to understand that there are yogis in the past, in the yogis who are also there now, who are able to get this kind of a thing, and they are already not having any kind of worry about the body falling. Okay, I'll take one more quick thing. There are only three different types of possibilities are there. One is at the time of death, somebody would have already realized himself. A person who has realized that the self in him is the same Brahman or Ishvara outside, he has already lost the body consciousness long time back. He knows that he is just, the body is just an instrument in which he is currently abiding in, but he is not the body, he is not the doer, he is not the mind. He is already the Jivan Mukta. For him, even the diseases and the pain, etc., the body, he knows that the body is only having a problem, and he does not get affected because he realizes his individual Atma. So when their body falls, they have got absolutely no problem. They will be able to continuously be united with God in their meditative thing. They'll say, this body is having pain, but I am now meditating upon the Bhagavan because body is different. I am now Yoga Yukta. I have already absorbed in my meditation with Bhagavan. So they have got no problem because they have already given up the body long time back. They are only Jivan Mukta, where the body is just there as a kind of clothing they are wearing. They know that they are not the body, they are not the mind. That is the first case. Second case of people is that seekers like us. Seekers like us, we feel that by learning, we understand that by Vedanta and by whatever great rishis and other people have told, we have got an opportunity for thinking of Ramanama, Krishnanama, Narayanama at the time of death or whenever we are struggling. But being a seeker and being a karma yogi, even if you are not able to be thinking about God at the time of death, because we already been in the karma yoga and other kinds of path towards spirituality, Bhagavan has assured in the 6th chapter or something that don't yoga brashta vijayate. When you become a yoga brashta, that you are not able to achieve anything in this lifetime of enlightenment, and he says that I'll assure you that you will not fall back. Whatever you have learned, you will not fall back. You start your next janma in the right kind of place so that you can pursue, and then you will be pursuing in the next few births, etc., so that you will become a Jivan Mukta itself before the body falls. That is the second case. The third case is the person who is not bothered about spirituality, etc. That person dies, and then he again gets a birth based on his own karma. Prarabdha karma and Sajita karma will decide his karma. So, what Bhagavan has now only told that this is the kinds of progression thing. You can do this thing, then you can do this, you can graduate like this. He has given the roadmap. You can understand the roadmap, but these are the only three possibilities that we need to understand. A Jivan Mukta, a seeker, and a non-seeker, or a person who is not in spirituality world. So these are the three different kinds of things that will happen at the time of death. We don't have to worry about it. Even in some countries like America, etc., even today when a person is on deathbed, they feel that the person can be provided with morphine because the morphine will provide a kind of absolute pain-free feeling, and the person will have a very, very peaceful, fearless, no anxiety death. Even today, morphine is one kind of thing which is approved in the case of some of the countries, that when they are going to die, instead of they having the pain of death, they can be given, no problem. So they will not be able to think about Bhagavan. They will be only just be happily, peacefully sleeping like the way we have a sleep in the night. So we have to understand it only from this perspective, that there are only three categories we can put them. Jivan Mukta, a seeker, mumukshu like us, and then a person who is a worldly person, who is engaged in the world of activities, and he doing karmas, some papa, punya, everything he does. Based on that, he'll get another birth, and then he'll continue to go on. But whatever is going to be the thought process, whatever is going to be the predominant thing that we are looking forward to in our lives, that will determine our thought process even when we are in the final stages of life. That is, I think it's very practically that is true. And that's what Bhagavan is also telling. And he says that you continue to have the habit of having this kind of a meditative practice of thinking about Bhagavan, thinking about Nirguna Brahman, etc. So that is what we need to understand. Next,
Rajalakshmi Bhagini.
यदक्षरो वेदविदो वदन्ति
यदक्षरं वेदविदो वदन्ति यदक्षरं वेदविदो वदन्ति
विशन्ति यतयो वीतरागाः
विशान्ति यद्यत्यो विशान्ति
not
यद्यतयो
विशन्ति विशन्ति
विशन्ति यद्यतयो वीतरागाः विशन्ति यद्यतयो वीतरागाः
यदक्षरं वेदविदो वदन्ति विशन्ति यतयो वीतरागाः
यदक्षरं वेदविदो वदन्ति विशन्ति यद्यतयो वीतरागाः यदक्षरं वेदविदो वदन्ति विशन्ति यद्यतयो वीतरागाः
Good. Next.
Bhanureka Bhagini.
यदिच्छन्तो ब्रह्मचर्यं चरन्ति
यदिच्छन्तो ब्रह्मचर्यं च चरन्ति यदिच्छन्तो ब्रह्मचर्यं चरन्ति
तत्ते पदं संग्रहेण प्रवक्ष्ये
तत्ते पदं संग्रहेण प्रवक्ष्ये तत्ते पदं संग्रहेण प्रवक्ष्ये
यदिच्छन्तो ब्रह्मचर्यं चरन्ति तत्ते पदं संग्रहेण प्रवक्ष्ये
यदिच्छन्तो ब्रह्मचर्यं चरन्ति तत्ते पदं संग्रहेण प्रवक्ष्ये यदिच्छन्तो ब्रह्मचर्यं चरन्ति तत्ते पदं संग्रहेण प्रवक्ष्ये.
Good. Next.
Dr. Sri Lakshmi Bhagini.
यदक्षरो वेदविदो वदन्ति विशन्ति यतयो वीतरागाः
यदक्षरं वेदविदो वदन्ति विशन्ति यद्यतयो वीतरागाः यदक्षरं वेदविदो वदन्ति विशन्ति यद्यतयो वीतरागाः.
Good. Next.
K. Lalita Bhagini.
यदिच्छन्तो ब्रह्मचर्यं चरन्ति तत्ते पदं संग्रहेण प्रवक्ष्ये
यदिच्छन्तो ब्रह्मचर्यं चरन्ति तत्ते पदं संग्रहेण प्रवक्ष्ये यदिच्छन्तो ब्रह्मचर्यं चरन्ति तत्ते पदं संग्रहेण प्रवक्ष्ये.
Good. Next.
Lakshmi BB Bhagini.
The first line 2 times. The first 2 lines 2 times.
Okay, sir. यदक्षरौ वेदविदो वदन्ति विशन्ति यद्यतयो वीतरागाः यदक्षरौ वेदविदो वदन्ति विशन्ति यद्यतयो वीतरागाः.
Good. Next.
Sharat Chavan Mahodaya.
The last 2 lines.
यदिच्छन्तो ब्रह्मचर्य चरन्ति तत्ते पदं संग्रहेण प्रवक्ष्ये यदिच्छन्तो ब्रह्मचर्य चरन्ति तत्ते पदं संग्रहेण प्रवक्ष्ये
ब्रह्मचर्यं चरन्ति
यदिच्छन्तो ब्रह्मचर्यं चरन्ति तत्ते पदं संग्रहेण प्रवक्ष्ये.
Good.
Sharda Rajan Bhagini.
Oh,
Full shloka once.
Okay. यदक्षरं वेदविदो वदन्ति विशन्ति यद्यतयो वीतरागाः यदिच्छन्तो ब्रह्मचर्यं चरन्ति तत्ते पदं संग्रहेण प्रवक्ष्ये.
Good. Next.
Rajeshwari Shivshankar Bhagini.
यदक्षरौ वेदविदो वदन्ति विशन्ति यत्यतयो वीतरागाः यदिच्छन्दो ब्रह्मचर्यं चरन्ति तत्ते पदं संग्रहेण प्रवक्ष्ये.
Good. Next.
Sheila Shinde Bhagini.
यदक्षरौ वेदविदौ वदन्ति विशन्ति यत्यतयो वीतरागाः यदिच्छन्तो ब्रह्मचर्यं चरन्ति तत्ते पदं संग्रहेण प्रवक्ष्ये.
Good. Next.
Anupama Bhatt Bhagini.
यदक्षरौ वेदविदो वदन्ति विशन्ति यद्यतयो वीतरागाः यदिच्छन्तो ब्रह्मचर्यं चरन्ति तत्ते पदं संग्रहेण प्रवक्ष्ये.
Good. Next.
Usha Srinivasan Bhagini.
यदक्षरं वेदविदो वदन्ति विशन्ति यद्यतयो वीतरागाः यदिच्छन्तो ब्रह्मचर्यं चरन्ति तत्ते पदं संग्रहेण प्रवक्ष्ये.
Good. Next.
Vijayalakshmi Bhagini.
यदक्षरौ वेदविदो वदन्ति विशन्ति यत्यतयो वीतरागाः यदिच्छन्तो ब्रह्मचर्यं चरन्ति तत्ते पदं संग्रहेण प्रवक्ष्ये.
Good. Next. One more person.
Srimati Bhagini.
यदक्षरौ वेदविदो वदन्ति विशन्ति यद्यतयो वीतरागाः यदिच्छन्तो ब्रह्मचर्यं चरन्ति तत्ते पदं संग्रहेण प्रवक्ष्ये.
Good. One more person.
Veena Panisri Bhagini.
यदक्षरं वेदविदो वदन्ति विशन्ति यत्यतयो वीतरागाः यदिच्छन्तो ब्रह्मचर्यं चरन्ति तत्ते पदं संग्रहेण प्रवक्ष्ये.
Good. So now Bhagavan says that Yadu Aksharam. So this entire chapter is called Akshara Brahma Yoga. Aksharam is immutable, imperishable, the one that does not decay, which is Brahman. So Yadu Aksharam, that Aksharam, Veda Vidaha Vadanti. Veda Vidaha means the people who knows Veda, they talk about that. If you look at Veda Vido in this sense, we can also talk about those people, those rishis who lived in ancient India. Those people who also came out with all the Veda had come as a Sabda Pramana from various rishis. So they know, when they were talking about this and they were giving these kinds of Veda Jnana, they have already understood what is the thing that they are talking about. They knew about the Brahman. They knew about Ishvara. They knew about Bhagavan. They knew about creation, our rishis. So what is that they are talking? The same Aksharam. That Aksharam which was talked about in detailed way in our Vedas and also by the people who knew Vedas like our ancient rishis. One. First group of people. Second, Yad Yatayaha. Yatayaha means people who are sannyasis. Okay, Yati. Yatayaha, the sannyasis, Vitaragaha, giving up their own likes and dislikes, they wanted to enter. Why did they take sannyasi and giving up everything, likes and dislikes, and lived a life of renunciate? They lived a life of renunciate because they wanted to understand that Bhagavan in themselves. They wanted to enter into the Brahmatvam themselves. So, Yad Yatayaha Vitaragaha Vishanti. Vishanti means entering. The one that these people, the saints, etc., were continuously striving to reach by giving up their likes and dislikes, Vitaragaha, that particular Aksharam, Yadi Ichantaha Brahmacharyam Charanti. The people, Brahmacharyas are people who are all Gurukulas. The Gurukulas, they are all being taught various things about Vedas. So when you look at a person who is joining a chemistry, BSc chemistry in a college, he is very, very clear that he is going to become a person who knows chemistry at this level. When somebody does a PhD in some engineering, electronics, then he knows that he is going to be doing research in so and so area. So a person who is joining a Gurukulam, what is going to be the kinds of goal for the people who are entering a Gurukulam and then doing a living a life of brahmacharya? For them, the primary thing is learn, understand the Vedas and Vedantas to know the Brahman. So that is what they ichanti, that is what they desire for. So the brahmacharis, they're all going around with the desire to know what? That Brahman. Tatte padam, tad, that. Padam, that particular thing, te, for you, sangrahena pravakshe. Arjuna, I tell you that. So he's telling about Akshara Brahman is the one padam which all these people want to go. That I talk to you about in a very briefly. And who all want to go? Veda Vidaha Vadanti. People like knowing Veda, they were talking about it. Yatayaha Vitaragaha Vishanti. The people who are sannyasis, giving up their desire for likes and dislikes, they were the ones who were trying to enter into the Brahma, understanding their own Brahman. Then the one that was strived by as the goal for their own learning, brahmacharis, etc., they were the Gurukulam and they were learning that particular knowledge. I will tell you, Arjuna, in a very brief manner. Sangrahena pravakshe. I will talk to you in a very, very brief manner. I think I thought of taking 4 slokas, but I think today we'll take only 3 slokas and we'll continue it tomorrow. Okay. Kavim Purana Manushasitaram Anoraniyam Samanusmaredyah Sarvasya Dhataramachintya Rupam Aditya Varnam Tamasah Parastad Prayanakale Manasachalena Bhaktya Yukto Yoga Bhalena Chaiva Bhruvor Pranamavecha Samyak Satam Param Purushamupaiti Divyam Yadaksharo Veda Vidho Vadanti Vishanti Yatayo Vitaraga Yadischanto Brahmacharyan Charanti Tatte Padam Sangrahena Pravakshye Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi